Eddie and I were never concerned that we would be the parents of a deaf child. Not only for the fact that neither of us has a history of deafness in our family, but also because we have a 6-year-old healthy son with no medical issues. Being on our second child, when our baby girl was born and discharged from the hospital with a failed hearing test, we immediately dismissed the thought, convincing ourselves that it was the young nurse who had made an error with the test. We were so convinced that the results were incorrect that neither of us had even mentioned it to our family. Well, when a newborn fails their first hearing screening, they are automatically given an appointment for a follow-up test. Emery ended up failing the next 3 tests all before she was 3 months old. This included audiologists and ENT testing. However, because of our family history, some responses on the tests, but not enough to pass, and she still being so young, the specialists were not concerned and told us that it was probably just fluid from being in the womb for 9 months. We were told to give her ears some time to allow the fluid to drain. There was no sign of infection, and none of the specialists seemed worried, so why should we? When Emery was 6 months old, Eddie, myself, and our family noticed that Emery was not responding to sound, only startled by touch. The thought of the failed screening crept back into our minds. After performing our own tests, banging on pots and pans, loud startling noises, we knew something was wrong. Over the next couple of weeks, our ENT surgically placed tubes into her ears due to a failed fluid test. When nothing was found, fluid, wax buildup, nothing, Eddie and I were certain Emery was deaf. Within the month, Emery was diagnosed as profoundly deaf by a sedated ABR test. We were instantly connected with local families who had experienced the same journey that we were beginning, not to mention the love, prayers, and support from our family, friends, church, and coworkers. With God's guidance, we were quickly led to the life-changing Cochlear implant that would ultimately give our deaf baby the gift of sound. Emery was implanted on October 24th and was activated on November 22nd.
Hello?
That was awesome. Although it has only been a few days of having Emery in our world of sound, she is already babbling and making more sounds than she ever has. We are prepared and challenged with patience. It could be anywhere from a few months to 1 year before Emery will say her first word. I know that when that day comes, it will be filled with happy tears and the sound of her voice that for a moment I never thought I would hear.